Hello guys and welcome to a new video. I got asked by 2 subscribers underneath my Q&A video from Elson Player, why do you speak so good English, or in German, wieso kannst du so gut Englisch? And from Suzuki Fanboy, I got the question, I would like to know that too. How can you speak in the amount of a year better English than German? Please tell us a story about it. And I was asking him if it would be alright if I talk in English, and it is. And of course I make a Diablo video over it or underneath it, or either way. This is actually a really long story, because I'm a big fan of the English language for a long time now. And when I used to be younger, I was one of the generations which didn't have English in elementary school. It came afterwards when I was in class 4, I think, or 3. And I didn't have English from the beginning on, but there was an English course in the other class. I was in class A, and in B class they had an English course. They didn't have to attend it, they could attend it if they would wanted to. It was their choice or their parents' choice, and I wanted to attend it but I couldn't because I was class A and not B. And yeah, my mom taught me a little bit English at home. My mom is a big England fan. She really loves it, and she always insisted that I have to talk English and I have to learn English, and it was more important for her if my English note or English grade was really good, instead of like other grades I had, for example mathematics. She didn't really care about that, but she cared about the English one, because she said one day you will need it, and if you don't have it you have to learn at some point, and you rather learn it now that you're young because it's easier than later on when you're older. So I had to learn it from at home a lot, and I was really good in school, and I have kind of a talent in talking and a talent in languages. I'm not really good at mathematics, I'm actually really crap at it, but in languages I'm actually really good, and I have fun learning them. And I had just English and German in class, and German was of course always my native language, and I was naturally good in it. I didn't really read many books. I did later on when I was older, but not when I was younger, because I found it kind of boring, to be honest. And yeah, I read a lot of books, and I learned English in school, and I was quite good at it. And I had the special ability, if you want to say so, that I could remember vocabulary for really long. And I didn't have to, for example, I had a friend which used to study vocabulary for hours and hours, and she couldn't remember the words for nothing in the whole world. But I wasn't quite like that. I used to learn vocabulary for half an hour, 1 hour, and I had the words in my head and they wouldn't come out again. Besides the ones with the past and the present, I'm not really good with that. I just put ed in the end, and most of it is right anyways. Yeah, basically my mom taught me a lot of English stuff, and it helped me out a lot. And then one day she went with me to England, 2 holidays for 4 days to London. And I remember I was there and I found it so amazing in the city, and I enjoyed it really much. But there was just one problem: my English was so terrible, or not. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. Goddamn. Not terrible. It was not good enough to talk to other people or understand them. All I could say basically are the basics. Hello, my name is such and such. I'm from such and such. How are you doing? Where's the toilet? May I take your order, please? Something like that. I couldn't actually understand much, and to me the English talked really quickly, so I couldn't understand a single word they were saying. Then I said to my mom, if I can speak better English, can we come back here so I can actually enjoy the holidays this time? Because I enjoyed it, but it's really terrible if you go in a shop somewhere and the guy says, for example, really quickly, oh, do you want sausage shots? This is such and such, then this makes £10 and this makes fucking £12. And as a kid you're like, what? You just stand there like, what did she say? and you don't want to tell him to say it slowly, or because you think this is unfriendly, or I thought that at least, so I never said anything, and I just stood there like a lemon and didn't do anything. This is why I learned English a bit better. I started learning English by myself after a while, not just with school. I found school actually quite boring after a long time. After a long time learning it by myself, I started watching with a lot of YouTubers, or learning with a lot of YouTubers English. First American English. I used to watch The Red Bread and Markiplier, and I could understand them the best, and I didn't find them too cheesy because they didn't have 1 million subscribers yet, and to me they were sounding pretty natural. I used to love The Red Bread. I even have a fan shirt somewhere, but I think my mom threw it away because it has curse words on it. And I have I bought a fan shirt from him, but I don't think he is that good anymore after he got 1 million subscribers. It is just such a thing. It makes something with the people. I can't tell what, but it does definitely something. Anyways, if you guys want to watch him, then go ahead and watch him. If you like him, that's fine. I think he's probably a nice person, or as far as I could concern, he was a nice person. Not saying anything bad about him, but I just don't like his videos anymore. In fact, I don't like watching anybody's videos anymore, because I'm so not into this anymore. I like playing my own games and not watching somebody else playing it, because I just get bored after a while. Anyways, to come back to the topic, I learned like that how to speak English, and I also learned it a bit better in hearing English. Hearing English is everything. It can help you a lot, like a lot. That's why I always used to listen to English music and then translate it into German, which was my favorite hobby as a kid, actually, because I wanted to understand myself by doing it myself, what they actually say in the song. So I had never had any problems in English class translating a text from German to English or the other way around. And I know that sounds pretty boring, but it's actually not. And after I got into it with the YouTubers, I started, because they have no subtitles on, yeah? They have subtitles on the game, but they don't have them when they talk, obviously. But I got a bit an easier thing. I really love to watch The Vampire Diaries, which is a TV show about vampires, as you can hear probably in the title that it's about vampires. I really love watching it. I got season 1 and 2 on DVD. Season 3 I haven't bought them because I got that from my birthday last year. And or was that season 4? No, that was season 3, I think. Anyways, I watched it around 50,000 times, or God knows how many times, in German, and afterwards in English with subtitles, then after that just in English without subtitles. And before you know it, I started already playing video games online, and I discovered really quickly on Modern Warfare 3 that online not everybody understands German. And as I already loved speaking English and hearing English, I had no problem talking to other people. And at first, I think my English was pretty horrible. I have somewhere a video up where I speak English and I was really mean to a guy because he was mean to me before. And I sound pretty horrible. I actually watched it with my boyfriend. I was like, oh, I can't listen to this. It sounds so terrible. And it's really hard for me to listen to my own voice in English. And that's why I actually enjoyed playing with other people. And I used to play with a British person before. And I'm not saying any names though. But it was I can't actually remember who it was. I just know it was a British person. Was it from Northampton? Something up north. And I remember he talked to me on Skype and he said, not to be rude, Jordan, or anything, but your English is pretty terrible. I was like, oh my god, if a native thinks that, then it must be pretty terrible. And I got just more into it as it goes, and at some point I met my boyfriend now, and I remember when I first met him, we talked, and he said, oh, how about we talk on Skype while we play? It's much easier to coordinate where you're going, where the people are in Call of Duty. It's more tactical. And I said, oh, I don't know. And he said, why not? I said, I don't actually talk English very well. And he said, oh no, you talk English completely fine. I said, no, really. My English is not that good, so I'm really, really shy and embarrassed to talk to you. And I talked with him and he said, oh, your English is completely fine. He said, you got me worried. I thought you sound actually really terrible and have terrible German because English, not German, sorry. Because he talked before to somebody which English was apparently really terrible, and he said it didn't went so well because he couldn't understand. But he said my English was completely fine, and as it went, we became really, really good friends for over a year. And then we actually came together, and we're now together. So I got an English boyfriend, and that helped a lot, I suppose. That helped a lot to my English, that I got a British English, because my boyfriend used to live in England and I used to live in Germany, and as it is, well, as I am, I wanted to meet him, of course, and I think I met him 3 months after we came together or so, or before that. And my mom loves England, as I said before, so we actually go every year to England for 4 days, 2 holidays to London. Well, not anymore, but we used to. And when we went there, I said to my mom I wanted to meet him, and I wanted to go there alone, not with her. Back then I was still 17, not 18. I'm 19 now, that was 2 years ago. And I remember she said no. I said, why not? She said, he's 23 and you don't know if it's such and such. And she never actually spoke to him before. And I remember I was really, really nervous, and I had before really bad time, and I was eating a bit less at that time. Like, not like anorexia, I was a bit depressed, and I wasn't really hungry, and it was somewhat the same time, so I didn't eat much. And I noticed that because when I got nervous and I was in England one day before I met him, I ate a sandwich, and I don't know what it was with some really fatty mayonnaise or something, and I had high shoes on, that didn't help probably either. And I was in London, or was that London? Yeah, I think that was London, Heathrow. No, not Heathrow, I think that was London, somewhere where the trains are. I'm not quite good with the names. It was definitely London though, and I was somewhere at the train station, and all I felt was feeling really ill, really sick. I couldn't breathe, I had cramps, and I felt like I'm dying. So I sat down on a pole, against a pole on the floor, and I said to my mom, oh my god, I need air. And I just went out and I sat on the wet floor, because in England it always rains. I think there's hardly a sunny day there. And I sat down on the floor, and some really 2 nice young ladies came past and said, oh my god, are you okay? You don't look very well. I said, no, I'm not very well. And the hospital was literally like, I could see it from where I was sitting, but I couldn't get up and go to it. So somebody came over from the hospital on a motorbike, and his name was Richard, I remember that. And because it's classical English, British English. And he came over and he gave me some pink painkillers, and he said, don't worry, you will be fine. I said, I will be fine. I feel like I'm fucking giving birth. And I remember my mom annoyed me really badly, because she said, he asked me stuff to check if I'm alright, if my brain is alright and everything, even though I didn't fall down, but he checked anyways. He said, what's your name? And my mom said, he wants, in German, of course, translate it. She said, oh, he wants to know your name. I'm like, oh really, mother? I would never have guessed that. My mother just panicked, I suppose. But it really annoyed me then. Anyways, I was in England in the hospital. That was like before I met my boyfriend, and it was literally the most annoying thing ever. They have really nice doctors there, actually. He said, oh, from Germany, I love your schnitzel and whatnot. And said, oh, don't worry, we'll make you healthy. And that's it, the doctor's gone. You never ever see that doctor again. But you see loads of patients everywhere and nurses, but you never see a doctor ever again after he said hello once. So there was a guy as well, and he had a broken leg, and he was drunk, and he said, I'm going home tonight. And the nurse said, "You can't go home tonight. You're drunk and your leg is broken." "I don't care. I crawl home if I have to." And I found that hilarious because I never heard that before, because I'm usually never drunk or around drunk people. Anyways, my mom talked to my boyfriend for the first time, and it turned out that she likes him, and I was able to go, or what do you mean, or more like I did go. I actually left the hospital because I was lying. I said I feel fine now, everything's alright, it was just a sandwich stuck, and I just overreacted because I'm all nervous. And then I went back to the hotel, and the next day to my boyfriend and met him, and everything went well, and we're now together and living together, because I couldn't take the distance, because it's actually really far. And I think that I have an English boyfriend helps me a lot with the English, and because my boyfriend is living with me here now, and we are hardly talking German. We only talk English literally every day, all day long. I mean, I dream English, I think English, I do everything in English basically. I even sleep in English or breathe in English. Yeah, that helped probably a lot. Also, that I went to English school. I think that was the break point. I went to English school at some point near where my boyfriend used to live, and I was living over his place at that time. And I went to the English school because I know my talking was a bit better than my writing, so I thought I'm gonna get that leveled out a bit. And I went to the Lewis English School, and they have really nice teachers and nice people. And in the beginning, you just sit there and make a test, which everybody makes. And you get talked to, and afterwards they put you in a class depending on which level of English you have. And it's funny because in the form which we filled out before, my mom and I did, we put like average English, and in the end it turned out I was in high intermediate English, and I was the only 17-year-old there. I was with the adults in the course, and I went there and I sat down in class. I didn't even know at first, but to me it just sounded normal, everything. And I remember they asking me how old I am, and I said, "Oh, I'm 17." And everybody just got a big face and said, You're 17? I said, "Yeah, why?" And I didn't even know why they were so shocked. And then after class was finally over, because they just bring me to my class. They didn't even told me which class it is, just bring me to the class. And after the class, I had to look on the board, and I saw, oh, I'm in high intermediate. This is one of the 2 highest classes you can get. The highest class is advanced, but I was in high intermediate, and I was so proud. And I told my boyfriend, and he was proud of me too. And I remember I had to talk the whole day English. I was used to talking English and German, half a day English, half a day German, depending on who I talked to. I used to talk with my German friends online, and then the rest of the day with my boyfriend. And because I was living in England for around 2 months, that was the first time when I had to talk English the whole day. I also helped myself by writing my diary in English, or used to write diary, not anymore. And yeah, in the beginning when I talked everyday English, I love talking, and I love talking English of course as well. And it was exhausting. I even thought at first I'm in the wrong class because it was so exhausting. But my teacher said to me that this is normal, because even if I talked English before a lot, it is not my native language, and at the same time it's tiring me out, and I will notice it for the first few weeks, but I should not worry because I will get used to it, and then it's just challenging. And I believed him, and I said, alright, but if it's not better in 1 or 2 weeks, then we have to talk about it and see. He said, of course, we can do that. And after 1 or 2 weeks, when I got used to it, then it was quite alright. I remember actually coming home the first day of school to my boyfriend, and I was sitting on his couch with him, and he said, "Oh, let us watch this movie. This is my favorite movie." And I slept the whole time through it because I can't remember a bit. I think one of his favorite movies, the other one we watched, but one of his favorite movies, I slept through it because I was so tired out from all this English. I did that for 2 months, and I actually finished school with amazing with an amazing example, and also example, can I say that? I think and yeah, I think after that, after talking so much for 2 months, my English was already crackling, and I think it didn't got my German was crackling, sorry, and I think it didn't go better that I moved together with my boyfriend. I mean, that's better, of course, for me, but I think my German didn't get better through this. And now I talk everyday English with my boyfriend. I do everything in English. I talk English with my mother because my mother talks everyday English in the office too, and she hardly talks German with me. She just talks it in English. So we are actually all talking English over here. So I think this is why my German isn't that good anymore. And yes, this happened all over 1 year. That is really quick, actually. It sounds really quick, but it was, for me, it feels like forever, literally. But I hope I could help you guys out. This video is already half an hour long almost. I was just about to say as well, I'm sorry that I couldn't bring a video for such a long time. My neighbors decide every summer to build a new house or something, so they drill every freaking day. So I have to make videos at night, and I have to look that I don't talk too loud, otherwise my mom complains and the neighbor complains. So it's a bit tricky at the moment to make videos, but I try to upload them, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy furthermore videos, and until then, I see you guys. Bye!